Alright, everybody, welcome to Gen Booms.
Gen Booms.
I am
Welcome.
Connor.
I am Robert, his dad.
Yes, and today we are back with one of our biggest videos, honestly. One of, rap's biggest people. So we're back with Kendrick Lamar. We're doing his second album, To Pimp a Butterfly, today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That is big. Because I remember the first one.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah. Which I called Good Kid, Mad
Good
Kitty.
No, you said Good Kitty, Mad
Good
City.
Kitty. Whatever it was.
Yeah, that was funny.
Whoops.
Man. Let's see how you messed this one up. To Pimp a Butterfly.
I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly. I think I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the other one, Good Kid, Mad City, was really kind of a revelation. It was really just really good. Really enjoyed it. So
really impressive writing and all that. Great storyteller is more what you get from that. So
yeah, exactly. That was really interesting and great storytelling. And I finally understood why he does like these different voices and things.
Yeah, the inflections and stuff like that.
So really cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing more of his stuff. Yeah,
this one I think more people prefer this one, but I mean it's public opinion. It's hard to ever know. But this one's definitely, you'll see, it was a little bit more like jazzy, and it's sort of the style. It's almost like a jazz rap, but you'll see, it's quite impressive. So we'll just get right into it. So we'll start off with Wesley's Theory. Hell of an intro song.
Okay.
Every nigga is a star. Every nigga is a star.
You gonna sing along?
Every nigga is a star.
I am not. No.
Yeah. Interesting intro.
Hit me.
When the four corners of this cocoon collide, gather your weight, take a deep look inside. Are you really who they idolize? To pimp a butterfly.
At first I did love you, but I just wanna fuck. Late nights thinking of you, until I got my nut bridges burned all across the board. Destroyed, but what for? When I get signed, homie, I'm acting fool. Hit the dance floor, strobe lights in the room. Snatch a little secretary bitch for the homies. Blue-eyed devil with a fat ass mouth. I'ma buy a brand new Cuddy on Vows. Truck the hood up 2 times, deuce low. Platinum on everything, platinum on wedding ring. Married to the game at a bad bitch shows. I'ma put the cop to swap me by the White House. Republican run up, get socked out. Hit the press with a Cuban link on my neck. Uneducated, but I got $1 million check like that.
We should never cave. We should never cave. Niggas, money go back home. Money go back home.
At first I did love you, but I just wanna fuck. Late nights thinking of
By the way, it's Thundercat on the bass.
until I got my
I get my
toss and turn, lesson learned. All across the board, be strong. But what for?
Yo, what's up? It's Trey. Remember the first time you came out to the house? You said you wanted a spot like mine. But remember, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it, motherfucker.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. Say my name is Uncle Sam on your dog. Cliche and say fuck your haters. I can see the bottle in you, I can see the dollar in you. Little white lies, but it's no white collar in you. But it's whatever though, because I'm still following you. Because you make me live forever, baby. Count it all together, baby. They hit the register and make me feel better, baby. Your horoscope is a Gemini, 2 sides. So you better cop everything 2 times. Christmas, tell them what's on your wish list. Get it all, you deserve it, Kendrick. And when you hit the White House, do you? But remember, you ain't passed economics in school. And everything you buy, taxes will deny. How Wesley sniped your ass before 35.
Looking down is quite a drop. Looking good when you're on top. Better metaphors, leaving metaphors metaphysically in a state of euphoria.
Okay.
Yeah, what you think of that one?
Oh, wow, that was a lot to
lot,
unpack,
yeah,
to be
a
honest,
lot
man. That
going
was a lot going on there. So Wesley's theory is Wesley Snipes,
Yeah, I think he was just using
the actor who, if I recall correctly, didn't he he got super famous and then got super broke, and he get I don't know if he got in trouble or had bankruptcy or something like that. I remember he kind of disappeared, but I really don't remember exactly. I mean, I know he's still around, but if he in the
I actually don't know. I don't know
film
much
world.
on Wesley Snipes. I just know growing up, I've always heard of him. He's a very famous actor, but I didn't know anything
like the
about
Blade
after that.
series. Yeah, it was cool, but yeah, then he kind of disappeared for, or at least, kind of. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what his story was, but I figured it had something to do with that because it did even mention.
Yeah, let me
besides
find
being
it.
the title, it does mention Wesley Snipes.
Because he used it to say, "I'll Wesley snipe your ass before."
But
35.
yeah, Wesley Snipe your ass before 35, which is probably about maybe when he was big, in his 20s through maybe 30s or something, and so I don't know, if he went bankrupt or whatever at 35, or had a tax problem, or if that has anything to do with it. I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, so the beginning part is about
the beginning?
the girlfriend, right? I mean, he's hooking up. The first girlfriend, and then but he just kind of wants to just get laid or whatever, and as he, especially then more so as he gets more famous and he gets signed, and he'll act a fool and all that. Then the middle part, if I understood correctly, was more like Dre talking to him, like what you can be and what what you can do with in the rap world, because it was more about anybody can get this, or retaining it is what's the hard part.
You got to keep it is the hard
And then it seemed like the other parts was even below that was more like somebody, Dre or whoever, talking to him, just saying what what do you want? Do you want a house? You want a car? You want this? But it did also mention after that part, 40 acres and a mule.
The classic.
Yeah, the classic, given to the slaves.
Yeah,
exactly. But then a piano, a guitar.
And then that's why the next line is pretty good. It says, "My name is Uncle Sam. I'm your dog." Of course, Uncle Sam. What is he called? Just from the propaganda age where they. Had
Uncle Sam though was
America.
a U.S. Yes, America. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, the red, white, and blue.
But I was saying,
guy.
it did, I think, originate from the propaganda, right?
It was definitely a propaganda thing for World War II.
But yeah, everybody of course knows Uncle Sam is America.
Yeah.
So yeah, calling out. Yeah, it's an interesting song. I mean, and then musically, there's a lot going on. And
musically, a lot going on. Yeah,
really impressive.
So many little things going
really
here and there.
cool,
And womp, womp, womp kind of a thing going on. Like
the bass is very.
So Thundercat.
It's a funky
makes
song.
sense. Yeah, it really is. And it changes up
a lot,
multiple times.
And it's almost unfortunate. The beginning and the end. Is actually quite catchy, where you almost want to sing along. It's I can't. There's not a chance. I'm gonna get jumped.
Yeah, when you said that was funny. Because right, it is catchy. It's just oh yeah, ever is a star, But no.
Yeah.
I can't. It was a lot to unpack. I mean, like I said, I kind of got it's maybe stages in his life. One part was, he's young and he's got a girlfriend, and then as he's getting bigger, he kind of leaves her behind, and he's just getting, wants to get laid, and doesn't really, have the feelings for her. Then another part, he's actually kind of making it, and more so, and Dre is, talking to him, and what you can do and what he has done, but then. After that, I'm not totally sure. Probably have to run those lyrics.
I think you'll see as the album goes on too, but it's very much like a sort of black almost empowerment song, against the oppression type of thing. That's why he has a lot of lines in there, even from the beginning, where he's he just feels sort of aggressive, when I'm gonna get signed, and he keeps saying that, when I get signed, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. He's I'm gonna put the Compton swap meet by the White House, just stuff that's almost like petty, almost.
Yeah,
man, put it by the White House, make sure they see it. A Republican run up, gets socked out, this type of stuff.
Yeah,
and saying uneducated, but I got $1 million check, sort of just going into the racist ideas of they're uneducated, or the chorus.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of the racist stuff, we should never give N-words money.
And
that kind of stuff.
It's so on the nose too, with all of it. Like the lyrics were like shocking, where you're like, "What? There's no way I just heard that right."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there were people like that, and
through history.
throughout history. Yeah, so. Really interesting song, and I mean, some of it was also going by so fast. Even reading it was like,
oh yeah, he's a fast rapper. Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm keeping up here. Fascinating though. Like I kind of want to go back and just study the lyrics, because it also go by so fast, and it was so interesting.
I do want to point out the album cover to Pimp a Butterfly is in front of the White House. With
I had seen that before.
It's hard to see now. But,
now it's a little
you guys
small,
will see it, but it's in front of the White House with like a bunch of people that are just all black, and they're just all standing in front of there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was from the 60s when Martin Luther King Jr. was there, or if that's just something that was taken for this album.
I think it was taken for the album.
Was it? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, just because it looked newer, but
okay,
not entirely sure.
I haven't really looked at it that close. So
but
anyway,
interesting intro. Like it just makes you instantly be like, "Whoa!" Like what is this? What's going on?
It's an attention getter.
For sure, yeah. In every way, like lyrically, musically, like whoa.
Yeah.
It's a really cool sounding song, though. At least I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So now we'll go to the For Free interlude and play it into King Kunta.
Okay.
Which I don't think you've heard, but King Kunta. There's two King Kunta and All Right are like really big songs. So I don't know if you've heard them before.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a
Probably
bell.
not, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Church, huh? The choir.
I need that Brazilian wavy 28-inch. You playing? I shouldn't be fucking with you anyway. I need a baller ass, boss ass nigga. You's an off-brand ass nigga. Everybody know it. Your homies know it. Everybody fucking know. Fuck you, nigga. Don't call me no more. You don't know. You gon' lose on a good bitch. My other nigga is on.
This dick ain't free. You looking at me like it ain't a receipt, like I never made ends meet, eating your leftovers and raw meat. This dick ain't free. Living in captivity, raised my cap salary, celery, telling me green is all I need. Evidently all I seen was spam and raw sardines. This dick ain't free. I mean, baby, you really think we could make a baby name Mercedes without a Mercedes Benz and 24-inch rims, 5% tint and air conditioning vents? Hell fucking no. This dick ain't free. Pity the food that made the pretty and you prosper. Titty juice and pussy lips kept me obnoxious, kept me up watching pornos and poverty. Apology, no. Watch you politic with people less fortunate like myself. Every dog has his day. Now doggy style shall help. It's been relentless. Fuck forgiveness. Fuck your feelings. Fuck your sources. All distortion. If we fuck, it's more abortion, more divorce, course and portion. My check with less endorsement, less endorsement. Dust is good, disgusting. Force weight. Fuck you fingers and more shit. Porcelain pipes, pressure, bust them twice. Choices devastated, decapitated the horseman. Oh America, you bad bitch. I picked cotton and made you rich. Now my dick ain't free.
I'ma get my Uncle Sam to fuck you up. You ain't no king.
And then goes into King Kunta.
Damn.
What? Damn.
Wow.
I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams.
What's the yams?
The yam is the power that be. But a rapper with a ghost rider. What the fuck happened?
Oh no.
I swore I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all sharing bars like you got the bottle bunk in a two-man sale.
A two-man sale.
Something's in the water.
Something's in the water.
And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking bum. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. When you got the yams.
What's the yams?
The yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
You goat mouth mammy fucker.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. Oh, whoa. Oh yeah, fuck the judge, I made it past 25, and there I was, a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina, screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom, Mr. Belly of the beast. From a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was...
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off of King Kunta. Black man taking no losses. Oh yeah? I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence.
So there we go.
Another lot.
Between the interlude and King Kunta, which the interlude was already like, damn.
Yeah, that was kind of a. I mean, probably could have just stopped after that one. Actually, that was you know.
Yeah, it went by fast.
A lot to take in.
It's going fast, man.
Like, holy crap, this is going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts off with, you know, just a woman being like, you ain't shit, basically.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, so when it first came out on Musically, I was like, oh, we're going to church because it had that kind of thing. Then immediately goes into like, whoa, we're not in church.
Yeah, exactly.
This was a hardcore, just like, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Over and over in different ways.
Yeah, so it's just, she just keeps saying that. And then he comes in like, this dick ain't free. And then he's doing this very jazzy rap.
Yeah.
It's almost like a piano with the way he's rapping.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, it was. It was really interesting. Until at the end where it's, you know, the dick, now my dick ain't free. You know, like, America, you bad bitch. I picked cotton that made you rich. Now my dick ain't free. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, it's Uncle Sam again.
Yeah.
It's almost funny that like the black woman is saying, "I'm gonna get my Uncle Sam to f you up."
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Uncle Sam to. Yeah, that's you ain't no king.
Yeah, and then going into King Kunta,
and then into King Kunta,
which is you know, about Kunta Kinte.
That was okay. I was wondering if you knew that. I mean, that was the reference I assumed.
Okay, exactly.
From Roots, from my era, that was a huge thing back in when it first came out. And,
no, I don't know that much about Kunta Kinte. I just know, you know, real popular figure, and I know wasn't it from was it a book?
Originally, it was a book. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm blanking his name, Alex something. Anyway, but yeah, he had written about he'd done the research about his own family, African American man, and so he researched his history, you know, and found out, you know, he had ancestors who had been slaves and things like that, and so he had traced it back. I don't remember if Kunta Kinte was actually supposed, you know, was like, because I think he kind of mixed, you know, nonfiction with fiction, but I'm not totally sure about that. Maybe it was a part of, you know, somebody, an ancestor of his, or maybe that was more of a fictional character to, you know, kind of showcase what he was trying to say. But then the whole thing was turned into a mini series, like, I don't know, 6-part, 8-part, whatever it was back in the day. And that, at the time, became like the most watched thing ever. It was,
really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. This is, we're talking a long time back when there was like, you know, just a few TV channels.
Okay,
and so you had something that was a big thing.
Everybody saw it.
Like everybody was talking about it, like, you know, the next day, like they had a water cooler kind of a thing they would talk about. Like everybody the next day at work or, you know, for me in school, you know, was talking about it. And it just got more and more popular as it went. So it was a huge deal back in the day.
Yeah, okay. So he uses Kunta here, you know, almost making it like an empowerment thing again. Everybody want to cut the legs off him. Now I got the whole world talking. Definitely works there if you're telling everybody saw it. Not around the game, got the whole world talking.
I mean, granted, Kunta Kinte was a slave. It just that he kind of overcame throughout time.
Yeah, exactly. Basically using the same.
Went through a whole bunch of horrible things, but yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't know too much about that particular.
So and it's been, you know, like decades for me. So,
but yeah, he does a lot of. It's a cool beat on this one too. It's like a sort of another like sort of funky beat on that one.
Yeah. Well, they all have some really cool, interesting, music and, besides the lyrics. Yeah, musically, there's a lot going on there. It just stops and starts and goes in different directions.
It's cool that, especially that part where they do like a gunshot, like, pow, and they're like, the next time you hear the pow, the funk shall be within you. And then so it's like an interesting,
yeah.
And the beat comes back in. So yeah, that part's cool.
Yeah. So, that was cool. There was some stuff that like, stood out for me, but then I kind of forgot. Mostly I stood out because I didn't tell you, like, it talks about the yams.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I don't know if that has, I mean, yams are just the food I know of,
Yeah, of course.
Like a sweet potato kind of a, thing. But then it was like,
I used to know, but I don't.
But then, like, when you got the yams and, like, the yam,
keeps saying,
the
"What's the
yam
yams?"
brought it out of Richard Pryor, a very famous comedian, actor, back in the day. He was great. And then, but then he like manipulated Bill Clinton with Desires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, famously,
Everybody knows about that.
Yeah, about Clinton. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I got to. But anyway, but that's where I don't know what the yam. It has like a different significance.
I know it does. I know that there was a meaning for it.
I figured it had to be just the way that
what
was
it
written about. The yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. But. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't get the reference on that. It just was interesting lines, and I'm sure there had to be some, a deeper meaning that I didn't pick up on.
For sure, I know somebody in there because this is a pretty big song too. So like, one of y'all hopefully will know it. You let us know in the comment.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely important. I know it is, but don't remember. But besides that, I mean, it's fairly obvious what it's about. Like to this point, in terms of just like almost a rebellious. Like empowerment, basically empowerment.
And just but everybody want to cut the legs off of.
Yeah, did that happen to King Kunta? I presume.
I don't recall his legs being cut off.
Oh, okay, just because you said there was some bad shit happened, I was like, well, maybe they cut his legs off or something.
And, he was whipped and things like that, but I don't. I think they smashed his foot in one.
Oh, so maybe like a sort of an interpolation of that.
But it could also just be. Yeah, if you cut somebody down to size, you cut their legs out. So it might just be.
Or cut their legs off is like they don't have anything to stand on anymore. Like there's no.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah. So I'm not 100% sure of what the meaning is on that, but the general idea I think.
And then the last important detail, at least that I would mention, is right at the end. It like this whole song completely stops, like changes, and then he just I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence, which I know you don't necessarily go online too much. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of memes about that, so I was wondering. I don't think you've heard that, I presume.
No, I had not heard that.
Yeah, that people say that all the like I remember you was conflicted when they talk about Kendrick as a joke, basically because of this album. You'll see why it keeps coming back, but it like adds more each time.
Okay, because there was a line in there earlier, and I was wondering if it was related to that, which it seemed like he was kind of dissing some other rappers who had sold out, pre-Drake or whatever. But I mean,
he was dissing rappers that have ghostwriters, basically.
Yes, that was the line, which I thought that was really, really interesting. I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I swore I wouldn't tell, but.
That line's funny.
We all share bars, like you got the bottom bunk in a two-man set. Like that was
a funny line.
That was really good. I thought I'm sure that does happen a lot. That that people use other writers and stuff like that. And so I just thought he was kind of dissing people, like basically saying he doesn't do that.
Exactly.
And
which we definitely know is true after that Drake beef. I mean, he took it to heart, man.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. So I was wondering if the line that you just talked about at the very bottom was also kind of referencing that, like somebody. You was conflicted, like somebody that you wanted to do it yourself, but you got scared or nervous or whatever, and and they used a ghostwriter, and then misused their influence. I don't know. I'm just just wondering.
You'll sort of see as it goes on. I don't believe there's really much of a connection between those two.
Okay,
it's an interesting. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it moving to Institutionalized here with Snoop Dogg, Anna Wise, and Bilal. I hope I said that right. I don't really know Bilal too much. I just see the features.
I know
Snoop Dogg.
I know Snoop. Everybody knows Snoop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. There we go.
What money got to do with it? When I don't know the full definition of a rap image. I'm trapped inside the ghetto and I ain't proud to admit it. Institutionalized, I keep running back for a visit. Hold up. get it back.
Back to those inflections.
I said I'm trapped inside the ghetto and I ain't proud to admit it. Institutionalized, I could still kill me a nigga, so what?
Bulletproof my Chevy doors, lay in the White House and get high, Lord. Whoever thought, Massa, take the chains off me.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Flow so sick, don't you swallow it. Biting my style, you salmonella poison positive. I can just alleviate the rap industry politics. Milk the game up, never lactose intolerant. The last remainder of real shit, you know the obvious. Me, scholarship, no. Streets put me through colleges. Be all you can be, true, but the problem is, I tell you my hypothesis. I'm probably just way too loyal. K-Dizzle would do it for you. My niggas think I'm a god. Truthfully, all of them spoil. Usually you're never charged, but something came over you once I took you to them fucking BET Awards. You looking at artists like they're harvests. So many rollies around you and you want all of them.
Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass. Boy, shit don't change till you get up and wash your ass, nigga.
Once upon a time in a city so divine called Westside Compton, there stood a little nigga, he was 5 foot something. God bless the kid, took his homies to the show and this is what they said.
What am I supposed to do when I'm looking at walking licks? The constant big money talk about the mention and foreign whips. The private jets and passport, presidential glass for mechanism tell me to get him quickly because he got it. It's a recession, then why the fuck he ain't king of diamonds? No more living, boy, meet my 4-4. When I see him put the per diem on the floor, now Kendrick know they your co-workers, but this gon' take a lot for this pistol go cold turkey. Remember, still from the rich and giving it back to the poor. Well, that's me at these awards.
I guess my grandmama was warning the boy. She said,
Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass.
Once upon a time in a city so divine called Westside Compton, there stood a little nigga, he was 5 foot something. Dazed and confused, talented but still under the neighborhood rules. You could take your boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homie. Took his show money, stashed it in the mosey wosey. Hollywood's nervous, fuck you, good night, thank you much for your service.
Again, a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
You know, very jazzy in that one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that. And the other ones had like jazz influence and stuff. This one was just kind of even, I thought, kind of more so. But woof. So I guess all right. So
Yeah, where you want to start?
I'm not sure. I mean, like I'm not sure you call it the chorus, but I mean,
The shit don't-
grandma's,
yeah.
shit don't change till you
Get up and wash
till you
your
get up and wash your ass.
Yeah.
Which I think I assume that means more like just when you become more independent, when you become more a man or not a man, but growing up, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of your mama taking care of you, basically, you get up and wash your own ass, kind of a thing. I assume it was more just about growing up and taking responsibility.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely what it's about. What wash your ass, I think also is almost similar to Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. Like, you deal with yourself first and then you can deal with the other stuff in the world.
Then you can change the world. Yeah, so all right, so that was the main part of that, which just taking responsibility. Then obviously the other part was like the inflection, like you were saying. Oh, you get an inflection at the beginning. It's sort of like it's
sort of
kind of like the
pitch.
kid voice kind of a thing, like it's
almost an immature version of him.
Yeah, that's what I took it to be. So he's like younger, and then he's talking
snatch, watches and stuff.
Right, stuff going on in the neighborhood, and he's he's whatever kind of scared about stuff, and but I hate to admit it, but he was a kid, he was young, he's immature, and. But then it's hard to say. Okay, so I know he's young, he's immature, and then he's starting to kind of make it a little bit, start to go to places. I think.
Award shows and such.
Yeah, take some people to BET award shows and things like that. I wasn't sure if that was like a friend, like a homie or a girlfriend or whatever, you know, because that person seemed like they were all the person he took. If I understood it correctly, was kind of like wanted to get the rollies and everything, you know, like just wanted. Was more just like impressed with the flashy stuff, you know.
Yeah, I took it as him talking about himself.
I wasn't sure about that if somebody took him, but the way he said it, you know, that he went to the awards and he was.
Because he said, because then on the second verse he changes it to "That's me at these awards."
That's me at these. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then he said, I guess my grandma, because on that, I think it's those two lines where he changes his inflection back to his like normal voice. He was like, I guess my grandma was warning a boy, she said, and then goes back to the chorus. It's like I'm not sure if intentionally, you know, it's tough to say, but it's like he stopped his inflection just on like that line or those two lines, almost as if it's like him from the future or present or just in a clearer, better state of mind. He's like more mature, possibly.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I didn't get that. I just thought when he was saying like remember steal from the rich and giving it back to the poor, well, that's me at these awards. I just thought he meant like as he had matured and now when he's on like these award shows, he's winning stuff and it's like he's winning it for his city, for Compton, for his homies, and so he's kind of giving it back that way, But then, you know, also his grandma was, you know, warning the boy, you know, what you got to do, you know, be careful, and grow up and take responsibility. And so that he had been taking responsibility like that. That's why I took it. But I, you know, like first listen anyway, like that's how he was. It could be meant
to be both then too, you know.
Who knows?
But
could be taken different ways. And
especially since it is called institutionalized. So something, you know, you get institutionalized to believe certain things or believe you should act a certain way.
And then there's institutionalized knowledge they call it, which is like just something everybody knows basically. But also, you know, so it can be taken different ways. As I think a lot of this stuff does. I mean, is or can be.
Yeah, and then Snoop is basically talking about Kendrick because Kendrick's a little shorter. So.
I definitely thought Snoop was talking about him when you know as he's the little 5 foot something and kid, you know, that he's talking about.
And basically saying, you know, you can take the boy out the hood, but not the hood out the homie. So.
That was. That was cool. It was
interesting.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, it's
not a super, at least in my opinion. Like I don't revisit that one much, just because I don't like it. Doesn't. It's not one I'd play that much. It's cool for the album. I wouldn't play it on its own.
I could see that. I mean, it was more just like it's part of the whole story, and it's interesting, and it gives these different perspectives, and you learn more about what he's talking about. Yeah, it's not like a banger. It's not you know, whatever. Anyway, it's a cool one.
Now we're moving on to These Walls.
Alrighty.
With Thundercat back, you know, Thundercat's cool, and Bilal again, and Anna Wise.
Okay.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same.
Very cinematic.
If these was guitar, if these was guitar, sex. She just wanna close her eyes and sway. With you. Shout out to the birthday girl, say hey, say hey. Everyone deserves a night to play. She plays only when you're telling her if these walls can talk.
I love it when I'm in it. I love it when I'm in it.
These walls can talk, they tell me to swim good. No boat, I float better than he would. No life jacket, I'm not the God of Nazareth. But your flood can be misunderstood. Wall telling me they full of pain, resentment. Exclamation, interior pink, color coordinated. I interrogated every nook and cranny. I mean, it's still amazing. Before they couldn't stand me. These walls wanna cry tears. These walls happier when I'm here. These walls never can hold up. Every time I come around, demolition might.
These walls can talk. I love it when I'm in it. I love it when I'm in it.
These walls can talk, they tell me to go deep. yelling at me continuously. I can see your defense mechanism is my decision. Knock these walls down, that's my religion. I've been on the streets too long. Looking at you from the outside in, they sing the same old song about how they was always the cleanest. I beg to differ, I must have missed them. I'm not involved, I'd rather diss them. I'd rather call on you, put your wall up. Cause when I come around, demolition go.
If these walls could talk, I can feel your rain when it cries. Gold lives inside of you. If these walls could talk.
If your walls can talk, they tell you it's too late. Your destiny accepted, your fate. Build accessories and stash them on the yard. Take the recipe, the Bible, and God. A killer that turned snitch. Walls is telling me you a bitch. You pray for pills, hoping the warden would afford them.
That sentence so important.
Walls telling you to listen and sing about me. Retaliation is strong, you even dream about me. Kill my homeboy and God spared your life. Dumb criminal got indicted same night. About me and her in the after hours of the morning. About her baby daddy currently serving life. And how she think about you until we meet up at night. About the only girl cared about you when you asked her. And how she fucking on a famous rapper.
Walls can talk.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room.
He's about to scream. But yeah, interesting song there.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, that was way more of a catchy, one.
Yeah, that one is fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Then it gets real serious in the last minute.
Yeah, right.
Because it leads you almost down it, being like, oh, it's almost fun, like it's about sex and
yeah, right. Because
like
it was all just like sex, the sex walls, the hotel, the bedroom, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
It's just clearly it's all the sex but yeah, then it gets kind of deeper as it goes. No pun intended.
That's crazy.
As it goes on.
Yeah, and then it starts the last verse like if your walls could talk. If your walls could talk, they'd tell you it's too late. Your destiny accepted your fate. And then it starts talking about, more stuff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this part where he says, walls is telling me you a bitch. You pray for appeals, hoping that the warden could afford them. And it says that sentence so important.
Yeah, I'm glad you went back to that because it was going by kind of fast for me, and then it said that sentence so important. Like, oh, what was that sentence? You pray for appeals, hoping the warden could afford them.
Yeah, like you can't even do anything about it. You just have to hope for somebody else.
Yeah, so it took because before it was all like the sex stuff, and then it's your behavior is Sammy the Bull, like. If I recall correctly, he was he was a mafia guy that he went against his own people, to save his own neck kind of thing.
So that's why
he became the snitch because he turned in the other.
Okay.
So yeah, then a killer turned snitch. Walls is telling me you a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you pray for pills, hoping the warden could afford them. That's really
that and even the next line after where he says Will's telling you to listen to Sing About Me, which was we've heard that on the last album, the 10-minute song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a great song. That one, the one that's about all different perspectives and then about his homie getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really deep, important song. But yeah, saying Wall's telling you to listen to Sing About Me.
Yeah, okay.
Retaliation is strong. You even dream about me. And then mentions killed my homeboy and God spared your life. Dumb criminal got indicted same night. So then says, so when you play the song, rewind the first verse about me abusing and then it just keeps going of like about me, and he sort of turns it on himself and being like.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Okay, I didn't catch the reference back to the other song, but yeah, that does totally make sense now, and that and then it goes on to about abusing his power, like you said, and then I thought that was almost kind of good. Go back to the sex as well, right? Like
because he says, rewind the first verse.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, her in the shower and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're rich and famous, you can certainly abuse your power when it comes to
Yeah.
you know, getting laid or whatever, and just using people, exploiting people. So, yeah, so that made sense. I didn't get all the lines, you know, just, well, one, it went by fast, but two, even
Yeah.
when I did see it, I didn't totally, you know. No, I do know, like, you know, you said about her baby daddy currently serving life. There was, like, a prior reference in the other album, I think. Something.
Was it?
I thought that, well, maybe I'm wrong.
I thought he was speaking more general, but maybe
Yeah,
it
okay,
was.
maybe in general. Okay. Yeah, and I certainly don't know his music that well, or but yeah, and then like, you know, but so like, so the guy's in jail, and then like, but the girl's like with him or whatever, because now she's fucking on a famous rapper.
Exactly.
Walls can talk, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the whole being conflicted again. I remember he was
back to his if you've noticed by now, it's the third time it's come back. There's not every song, but every now and then, like almost every second song, he keeps adding a couple more lines to this growing.
To the I remember he
poem,
was
like
conflicted,
this
misusing your influence. Okay, so yeah, it did add on. Okay,
because before, I think the last song ended abusing my power full of resentment, and then it just turned resentment that turned into a deep depression, screaming in a hotel room, and it's about to go into you.
Okay,
so we're gonna get into you. It's a pretty important song.
Okay, all right,
here we go. Screaming in the hotel room.
Loving you is complicated. 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 I place blame when you steal, place shame when you steal. Feel like you ain't shit, feel like you don't feel confidence in yourself. Breaking on marble floors, watching anonymous strangers telling me that I'm yours. But you ain't shit, I'm confidential, tolerance, nothing special. What can I blame you for? Nigga, I can name several situations I start with your little sister baking. I fucking tell you, fucking failure, you ain't no leader. I never liked you, forever despise you. I don't need you, the world don't need you, don't let them deceive you. Numbers lie too, fuck your pride too. That's what dedication. Thought money would change you, made you more complacent. Fucking hate you, I hope you embrace it. I swear loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you, not loving you. 100 proof.
I can feel your vibe and recognize that you're ashamed of me. Yes, I hate you too.
It's crazy in headphones.
It really is.
You the reason why mama and them leaving. No, you ain't shit. You say you love them. I know you don't mean it. I know you irresponsible, selfish. You deny you can't help it. Your trials and tribulations are burden. Everyone felt it. You ain't no brother. You ain't no disciple. You ain't no friend. A friend never leave Compton for profit or leave his best friend, little brother. You promised you watch him before they shot him. Where was your antennas? On the road, bottles and benches. You FaceTime the one time. That's unforgiving. You even FaceTime instead of a hospital visit. You ain't tried. I know your secrets, nigga. Mood swings is frequent, nigga. I know depression is resting on your heart for 2 reasons, nigga. And if this bottle could talk, I cry myself to sleep, bitch. Everything is your fault. Falls breaking to pieces. Earthquakes on every weekend. Because you shook as soon as you knew confinement was needed. I know your secrets. Don't let me tell them to the world about that shit you thinking. Should've killed your ass long time ago. You should've filled that black revolver blast long time ago. And if this marriage could talk it and say you gotta go. And if I told your secrets, the world of no money can't stop a suicidal weakness.
A brutal track.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Bad. Like, he's just ripping himself to shreds in the entire track.
Oh, is it all just about himself?
It's all about himself.
I see. I did not get that because I mean, because the first part where it keeps repeating, loving you is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, initially I thought, okay, he's thinking about
Like a partner?
a partner, just marriage or whatever, romantic partner in general. But then as it went on, I was wondering, is this about a particular, famous person? Because it's,
Yeah, because you talk about, I mean,
people
reaching
100,000 people, and and having all this influence and stuff. So I was wondering if it was about a particular somebody who had risen to not just something like a singer even, but a speaker,
somebody had a platform,
like a Reverend Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King. Not saying that it's about them, but just that somebody who got to that level, and then maybe he felt like they sold out or whatever, and then loving you
is complicated.
Is complicated because of I found out about some stuff or that I didn't like or whatever. So loving you, I idolized you, but so I wasn't sure it was about that. But then, or is it more just think about himself because he got to that level? He could sell out stadiums these days.
Yeah.
So interesting track. I mean, because it's just like I said, especially if it is all about him and it's not about a particular. Because I was wondering who it could be about, because I was like, well, it's obviously not Martin Luther King Jr.
No.
I mean, like, that wouldn't make any sense. So okay, so just if it's about himself, okay, then that makes more sense. And you know that? You
it
it
is.
Or whatever?
Yeah, it's because I think he said, and it was a true, like, he was feeling so shitty in this hotel room after, like, a tour that he was, like, not quite, I don't quite remember, but I don't think he was quite literally suicidal, but he was very low. And that's when I think he was writing this. And like it said, like in a hotel room, just in front of a mirror drinking and clearly not doing too well. So yeah, it just gets worse and worse as it goes. Because it started from these walls, being like, found myself screaming in a hotel room, and goes to that. And then there's like an interlude where you can hear the housekeeping, open the door, I need to clean.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about that. Okay, so basically.
And you can hear a bottle.
Yeah, and the gulp,
the
a couple
gulps, the
times,
constant
and
gulps,
so it's like he's okay. So he's like in a hotel room, basically looking
Talking
in the
himself.
mirror, just angry, yelling at himself,
which
like,
is,
I fucking hate you. I hope you embrace it. Loving you is complicated. Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense then.
Yeah, that's why it's like, damn, because it starts off already rough, but then it just gets worse and worse, and it's like, oh my god, like this is not good.
Yeah.
Preached in front of a house. I guess talking about situation that stopped with your little sister having a baby, just a teenager, where with like, if you're the one who was supposed to have influence and set people right, and you can't help the people closest to you, like they still couldn't.
Because that's why he said you preached in front of 100,000, but never reached her. Yeah.
And then you fucking failure, ain't no leader, all that, and then getting down here. Once it gets past that housekeeping part, it gets pretty bad. And you're the reason why mom and them leaving. Say you love them, you don't mean it. And then that part about like one of his friends like dying or in the hospital. I mean, like, you didn't even visit, FaceTime because you thought he would recover. And then saying you failed. So it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. That okay. Well, that is far more heartbreaking.
Yeah, far more bad.
And that's.
And then ends it on the world where the world will know money can't stop a suicidal weakness.
I mean,
that's about as low as you can get.
That is true and accurate.
And true. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a brutal track. One of his most vulnerable.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. Yeah, now that makes a lot more sense when you. Taking it as you just said. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, that's.
I know.
That is really tough. It must be tough in the sense of that. He wrote about Compton, about the stuff he knew and did it so well, and earlier albums and stuff, and so I'm sure people put him on this pedestal too of like that he's so good at it and such a good poet and rapper and everything that people just expect him to just be fantastic and to like preach, so to speak, like
he's got his head on his shoulder.
You're so good and you talk about everything and so he more than most people, he's been put on this pedestal that he kind of has to live up to, and it's got to be hard.
He's even more like he's hypercritical of anything wrong.
Yeah, And then, you know, he knows that he spoke about those things, but it's like, it's not necessarily fair that he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. But, I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to All Right.
Okay.
Yeah, following that. All right. There we go.
All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like, bad trips like, Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up. But if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. One Mac 11, even boom with the bass down. Scheming, now let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. 20 of them in my Chevy, tell them all to come and get me. Reaping everything I sow, so my karma come in heaven. No preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster in silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe when I say, when you know, and we hate po-po, when the killer's dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it. I know it's illegal, I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero, thinking of my partner. Put the candy, painting on a Rico, digging in my pocket. Ain't a profit big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate po-po, when the killer's dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
I keep my head up high, I cross my heart and hope to die. Love me is complicated, too afraid of life changes. I'm alright in your favor. Dark nights in my prayers.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers.
Oh, wow. That was fun.
Wow. So, if I understand correctly, so still talking to himself, but just now saying we're going to be all right. Kind of like, you know, with if God got us, like, you know, God's help kind of a thing, we're going to be all right.
Yeah, he's trying to work through it, yeah.
But he's basically, just working through it. He's just still...
He ain't there, for sure.
No, yeah, he's still basically kind of still yelling at himself, still down on himself, but trying to say, like, you know, you feel me? We're going to be all right. We got it.
Exactly. And doing it in a way that's, like, it's better because it's like everybody can sing along and join in. Everybody can join in that feeling. And we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's why that's actually right. It's a really popular song. I think.
I could see that. Yeah,
for that.
That makes sense. And I saw there were callbacks to the earlier song too about, you know, the 40 acres and a mule.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, and various lines. Kind of that whole segment was a callback to the prior song. The piano and the guitar. The only thing is I don't. You know, anything. See, my name is Lucy. I'm your dog. And it's talking about Lucy getting the. Is a Lucy a particular reference? I think?
Yeah. So Lucy is like, I forgot exactly where it stemmed from. It's that idea because there's even that movie. It's like the first human was supposedly like Lucy or that whatever it is. It's like the first human, first something. It's like Lucy, and it's basically like the evils of Lucy, the evils of the, the humanity basically, like humanity Lucy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Listen,
I forgot exactly.
I wonder if Lucy was short for Lucifer or something, but I wasn't getting.
It might be that's where it stemmed from. Like that might be it. I don't actually entirely know, but I know
that's like Satan. So so I wasn't totally picking up on that reference.
Yeah, it essentially stands for like humanity, the evils of humanity. Yeah. So it's saying like anything. See, my name is essentially like Lucy, evil of humanity. I'm your dog. Which is interesting because he changes from My Name is Uncle Sam, I'm Your Dog,
Mm-hmm.
to Lucy.
Yeah,
so it's
Lucy.
basically saying they're both the same thing. They're both evil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then, saying at the bottom, where was it? The evils of Lucy was all around me. So, like, the evils of himself, like humanity is all around him.
Okay, so he went running for answers. Okay. All right, well, that makes more sense then. Yeah, yes. I think I mentioned this on the prior album. Like it's so different, hearing the whole album like this and getting song by song because I didn't understand Kendrick at all. When I heard little bits that I heard on the radio, because you'd hear in these different inflections and stuff, and the music is just kind of going, weird in jazz stuff, taking you in different directions. It's kind of chaotic, and I just didn't really get it. I was like, I don't get this guy. I don't think it makes sense to me. But it's like you gotta listen to the whole album or at least,
and you gotta have the lyrics in front of you,
and have the lyrics. Man, he goes by fast. You don't even have it in front of you. It's tough sometimes. So so much more depth and so much more so fascinating how he does stuff and how he puts it together. And if I'm guessing he at least comes up with the music or the ideas of what to do because that's just wild though. There's a lot of great rappers, and of course Dr. Dre come in with some great beats and stuff, but this is so unique that it's like
it is very unique
because it's jazz and it's putting all these elements together, and there's the sound effects and whatever, but there's so many elements to it and how it will stop and start and bring in a different kind of a musical layer on each song. There's a lot going on, like just musically to plan all this out and think, even he's not producing, he had to at least say, I want it to be like this. And, he has to kind of, be the artist and present the layering, so to speak. It's pretty amazing.
It's really impressive.
Yeah.
I know that obviously he did have a lot of help with it. You can just tell even with Thundercat and Be Loud, all these different people that helped.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But I'm sure he was the one who had the main idea for it. I know he had a lot of collaborators on this album to make sure it could happen. Just like a director would.
Right, it makes sense. Yeah, you couldn't do it all. Well, you could do it all yourself.
If you
perhaps
were
you're like
Prince or something.
Tyler, the Creator or something. Or whatever. But but don't need to. Like, like you said, he's the director.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the ideas and the lyrics, and I'm sure he has the idea. I wanted to do this, and or whatever. So very interesting.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep going to For Sale Interlude. It says Interlude. It's about 5 minutes, so we're just gonna play that.
Okay, so just
that's this next song.
Wow. Okay.
For Sale.
Like he's hyperventilating here.
Yeah.
Smoking, looking, poking the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Now baby, when I'm riding, I'm riding dirty. Registration is out of service. Smoking, looking, drinking that potion. You can see me swerving. Cause I want you. I want you more than you know. You said Sherane ain't got nothing on Lucy. I said you crazy. Rose are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing up daisies if I. Get you. I'ma go hit the throttle with you. Smoking, looking, poking that danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. You said to me, I remember what you said too. You said, my name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me Kendrick. Usually I don't do this, but I see you and me Kendrick. Lucy give you no worries. Lucy got million stories about these rappers that I came after when they was boring. Lucy go fill your pockets. Lucy go move your mama out of Compton. Hampton inside the gigantic mansion like I promised. I loosely heard prayers on your first album, truly. Lucy don't mind, cause at the end of the day, you'll pursue me. Lucy go get it, Lucy not timid, Lucy up front. Lucy got paperwork on top of paperwork. I want you to know that Lucy got you all your life. I watched you, and now you all grown up to sign this contract if that's possible. Get you. I'ma go hit the bottle with you, smoking low, drinking that potion. You can see me swerving, cause I want you. I remember you was conflicted. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers. Until I came home.
Okay, so I'm thinking Lucy is Lucifer. Because, like, you know, there was even a part about the signed this contract and stuff like that, which is, you know, like,
yeah, that's
you sold, sell your soul to the devil. I hear signed this, you know, this contract, and the title of it is For Sale ?
Exactly.
You know? So
that's true. I didn't necessarily think about that. I thought it was just like the evils of humanity, but it probably does stand for at least both, or you know.
I mean, similar, you know,
yeah,
concept.
I mean,
anyway,
it's the same idea. But yeah.
Yeah.
And did you notice the callback to the first album, Shireen Ain't Got Nothing on Lucy, which is
now I see it. I do remember Shireen,
aka Master Splinter's daughter,
right,
the girl that he's going after. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I do remember her name now.
Same, the one that set him up essentially. So,
right.
Yeah.
But Shireen Ain't Got Nothing on Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucifer. Yeah. Okay. So interesting song. Like it's so it's still about himself. You know, trying to resist temptation, trying to you know. Like basically, are you for sale? Like, are you gonna sell your soul to get what you want, or are you gonna do something better, basically?
Yeah, and I find it really interesting too that he keeps in multiple songs now, mostly because he's referring to the first one, but he keeps mentioning the mall. You know?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like you could live at the mall.
Yeah,
it's come up in multiple songs.
Because really, he keeps talking about, he's talking about Uncle Sam and all this, the mall, like the, what the hell is it called? Isn't it just called the mall? They call it the Mall.
The Mall of America?
The Mall of America.
Like in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, where all the museums are. And
everything. Which is weird. There's always called, I always thought it was strange to call it the Mall of America, but it's,
But yeah, it's interesting that he keeps bringing that up, I was like, every time I'm at the mall, every time you're at the main place that stands for, like, America, is where all the evil happens and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't take it as being like the Mall of America, but that does kind of make sense and it fits in there too. I just thought it was more like you can live at the mall. I was wondering anyway if that had to do with if you're always at the mall, you're buying stuff. So I thought if you're more, if you can live at the mall, like you're obsessed with things, just status and buying things and things like that, which
works there too.
Doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, you got money, you can buy anything you want. So but yeah, you can live at the mall, like. Because first I thought it was like homeless,
Could be too.
Because there was kind of a mention of that earlier, I think in the first song, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah, since it kept coming back, like you could live with them all. So I was wondering if that was it, like that just more about you're in love with material things. That's why you could live with them all.
True. Yeah.
But I didn't think about it as like the Mall of America. That's a whole different take on things. Anyway, that was. Interesting song. So yeah. So
and then on I'll call it a poem for now. On this poem he's building, he added one more line because it ended on running for answers until I came home.
Yeah. Okay.
So next song we got is Momma.
Okay. So he did go home, or sounds like. We shall see.
Oh shit! I need that. I need that sloppy.
This feeling is unmatched. This feeling is brought to you by adrenaline and good rap. Black Pendleton, ball cap. We don't share the same synonym, far back. Been in it before internet had new acts. Mimicking radio's nemesis made me whack. My innocence limited, the experience lacked. Remember scribbling, scratching, diligent sentences backwards, visiting freestyle ciphers for your reaction. Now I can live in this stadium, pack it the fastest. Gambling, Benjamin benefit, sending in traffic, spinning women in cartwheels, linen fabric on fashion, winning in every decision. Kendrick is master that mastered it, isn't it? Lovely how menaces turn attraction, pivoting rappers finishing fraction while writing blue magic.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I know everything. I know everything, know myself, I know morality, spirituality, good and bad health. I know fatality might haunt you. I know everything, I know history. I know the universe works mentally. I know the perks of bullshit, is it meant for me? I know everything. I know cars, clothes, hoes, and money. I know loyalty, I know respect. I know those that's unreal. I know everything, the highs, the lows, the groupies, the junkies. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. I know the price of life, I'm knowing how much it's worth. I know what I know, and I know it well not to ever forget. Until I realized I didn't know shit the day I came home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
Running number home men and women that crossed him. Sunbeaming on his BDBs, exhausted. Tossing footballs with his ashy black ankles. Breaking new laws, mama passed on home training. He looked at me and said, Kendrick, you do know my language. You just forgot because of what public schools had painted. Of everything you thought was progress, and that was bullshit. I know your life is full of turmoil, you're spoiled by fantasies of who you are. I feel bad for you, I can attempt to enlighten you without frightening you. If you resist, I back off quick, go catch a flight or two. But if you pick destiny over rest in peace, then be an advocate. Tell your homies especially to come back home.
This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I've been looking for you my whole life, and every time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or mankind? Tell me something, got me losing my mind. I've been looking for you my whole life, and every time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or mankind? Tell me something, think I'm losing my mind. I say where you at, from the front to the back. I'm looking for you, I react only when you react. I thought I found you back in the ghetto when I was 17 with the 30th best show. Maybe you in a dollar bill, maybe you're not real. Maybe only the wealthy get to know how you feel. Maybe you're paranoid, maybe I don't need you anyway. Don't lie to me, I'm suicidal anything. I can be your advocate, I can preach for you if you tell me what the matter.
Bit of a bizarre ending.
Yeah, that was pretty trippy. Because it seemed like, there's the whole Momma, thing and going back and kind of, but the end was almost like he was starting to, maybe ignore the, he was starting to get better and follow, the good guidance or something, like for Momma, whatever. But the end was almost seemed like, he's going off to this premiere or whatever, and they're doing jump, like there's music's playing, and it's like he's just getting back into the whole thing of just playing the star, and being kind of dumb, and then just kind of fades out as he's still like rapping basically.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's rapping so fast and so much as I like so quickly. Like when people do that, it's like that they want to be heard.
Yeah. Because it was like because he talked about being maybe I'm paranoid and maybe I don't need you anyway. Don't lie to me. I'm suicidal any day. I can be your advocate. I can preach for you. Tell you what the matter is. I was like. So he is kind of still like the same person. He's, kind of preaching, but he's still kind of suicidal. He's still kind of losing it. And so that's why I took it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so the end, it seemed more like it was kind of like, going back to his old ways and just going to the club and going to premiere, whatever. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but, because the earlier part, though, was more about, maybe going home, getting some more advice to some degree. Because he kind of, in the background noise, it was kind of like it was almost like dishes like being, put away or something. There was these little noises that were kind of like sound like dishes clinking together all throughout the first couple minutes.
Honestly, I did not quite catch it.
Oh, really? Yeah. It does sound like there's like a clinking kind of noise. It doesn't necessarily mean it's dishes. It was just kind of a clinking noise.
Gives that vibe. Yeah.
And it could be because I was just saying, Momma. Mama's often talking to you and giving advice or not even trying.
Exactly.
While she's doing the dishes, putting dishes away.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but I mean that's kind of the way I pictured it in my head anyway.
That's why he called it Momma, and that's sort of the metaphor for it of like brought me back home. Like he's sort of growing, and his mom is like the home. You just picture home with mom, so it's like that's what's teaching him again.
Yeah,
I definitely think that's part of it.
Yeah, I think so. But but then there was kind of a middle part about the the kid that
talking to him.
Kind of shows up and is talking to him. I didn't know if that was like it kind of looked like him or whatever because it resembled his features. I was like, is this he hasn't got somebody pregnant and this is like a kid that actually is his kid, or is it just like similar features because it's a nephew or whatever the case, and then that kid is just kind of like setting him straight in a lot of ways too, unless it's himself as a kid coming back and talking to
could be that too,
thinking back to how he was as a kid, and that kid is kind of talking back. So I wasn't surely sure on the meaning of that, because there was like 3 different things going there, which is most of the songs for that matter. So that was pretty interesting. Well, they all are.
Musically, I don't care for that one that much. Just it's not too interesting.
I mean, it's kind of going all over the place.
Yeah. Which is why it is one of the more lower streamed ones. Just not quite something you'd play.
Yeah, I can see how it fits into the whole story, and
for sure,
and especially following up on the other ones like You and All Right and For Sale, and so it's definitely follows up on that. Like now he's trying to get his act together, or maybe go back home and find out who he is again, kind of a thing. So
yeah, which the next song is called Hood Politics. Going back to the hood.
So okay,
here we go.
All right.
Okay, that. Pick up the phone, nigga. Every time I call, it's going to voicemail. Call me on Shanika's phone.
I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your own boy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. I don't give a fuck about no politics and rap, my nigga. Our little homies done a deuce, ain't never coming back, my nigga. So you better go hard every time you jump on wax, my nigga. Fuck what they talk about, your shit is where it's at, my nigga. Came in this game, you stuck your fangs in this game. You want no chain in this game, your hood, your name in this game. Now you double up, time to bubble up the bread and huddle up. Stick it to the scripts, now if them Benjamins go cuddle up. Elcos, Monte Carlos, Road Kings and dresses. Rip Riders, P-Funkers, Mexicans, they fuck with you. Asians, they fuck with you. Nobody can fuck with you. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your own boy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. Hopped out the caddy, just got my dick sucked. The little homies called and said the enemies that clicked up. Oh yeah, Puta wanna squabble with me, Vadio. Oh yeah, tell them they can run it for the cardio. Oh yeah, everything is scandalous. Slow motion for the ambulance. The project filled with cameras. The LAPD gambling, scrambling. Football numbers slandering. Niggas names on paper, you snitched all summer. Streets don't fail me now. They give us guns and drugs, call us thugs, making they promise to fuck with you. No condom, they fuck with you. Obama say what it do.
Obama say what it do.
We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. Everybody wanna talk about who this and who that, who the realest and who whack, or who white and who black. Unless you asking me about power, yeah, I got a lot of it. I'm the only nigga next to Snoop that can push the button. Had the coast on standby. Kid out, what up? I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed in my land by a landslide. Nah, homie, we too sensitive. It spill out to the streets. I make the call and get the coast involved and history repeat. But I resolved inside that private heart while sitting down with Jay. He said it's funny how one verse can fuck up the game. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one.
Wow.
Yeah, I will say, just to start off, personally, damn, I thought I muted it. There we go. I like that part, the music.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm not. This one, I will say, probably is my least favorite on the album. I just don't care for how it sounds, and I'm gonna be honest. I love Kendrick, and he has some cool inflections, but the boo boo as the chorus, I just don't care for it. I just don't care for it. Lyrically, I think it's really cool.
It was kind of funny.
I don't
like,
care
how it sounded. Boo boo.
Yeah.
I gotta say, for me at least, lyrically, I probably understood this one the least. I mean, I got part of it. I mean, obviously the hood politics.
Comparing.
Obviously, yes, that part I got, and how it even kind of compared, local politics, even also is kind of the same as Congress politics.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so I got that part, and just stuff going on in his hometown, and that kind of shit, and he's back in town. But I didn't get a deeper part of it. But I probably just more like I missed it, to be honest, because it went by so fast, and I didn't totally get all the references and things. But I thought it was interesting. Like, there was parts where he would say something, and then there was like a deeper voice. I don't know if it was somebody else, or it was him, because he would say something, and then at the end of it, it was my inward, my, and I think like it was like, oh, it's kind of trippy, because it was like, is that supposed to be his conscience? Is that supposed to be the man? Is it is it?
Stuff to say, he uses that a lot too, and
yeah, but it's just like there's that because only on that part, each sentence when it ended, it was like a deep voice saying that part, and clearly, so it was a meaning to it. I just didn't necessarily get it.
Yeah, true.
But let us know.
Indeed,
I'm sure some people understand. The reference, because it seems like, obviously everything he does has a meaning. Like every musical cue, everything. So if he uses a deep voice for those particular lines to say those particular phrase each time, I think there's a meaning to it. I just don't fully, have the knowledge to understand it at this point. So anyway,
I do think it's somewhat. It's not that hard to understand, just in terms of, I think, it's basically that. Like, it's hood politics. You're comparing the hood to Congress and dogging on them even more and saying that they're just the same. There's no difference. Like he says, Democrips and Republicans.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
So yeah, that part. So yeah, I get that. I think there is definitely some stuff that I'm missing too, that people can tell us about. But overall, I don't think it's necessarily an extremely complex thing.
Yeah, because a lot of it does go back to even the earlier albums that were talking about the local stuff in Compton, and the dead homies and things like that. Stuff that happened 14 years later, going hard, like we used on the dead homies, dead homie. So just stuff that happened with gang warfare or what have you, assuming that's what he was talking about. I might be wrong, but yeah, so it just seemed like that kind of politics, and like I said, and then the local politics, and how it also the hood is also kind of referring back to the overall politics of the country.
Yeah, I agree.
So
which is no, again, I love the album, but I just don't care for the song, to be honest. I like the writing of it, and I like how he keeps adding more to the poem at the end, but
yeah,
that's about it there. So I'm gonna move on to How Much a Dollar Costs.
How much a dollar really costs. The question is detrimental, paralyzed in my thoughts. Parasites in my stomach keep me with a gut feeling, y'all. Gotta see how I'm chilling once I park this luxury car. Hopping out feeling big as Mutombo. 20 on pump 6, 30 Marcellus called me Dumbo. 20 years ago, can't forget. Now I can lend them my ear or two. How to stack these residuals tenfold. Walked out the gas station, a homeless man with a steady tan complexion. Asked me for 10 rand, stressing about dry land. Deep water, powder blue skies that crack open. A piece of crack that he wanted. I knew he was smoking, he begged and pleaded. Asked me to feed him twice, I didn't believe it. Told him beat it. Contributed money just for his pipe, I couldn't see it. I told him I didn't have it, then closed my door. Tell me how much a dollar cost. Why he was mad at a stranger like I was supposed to save him. Like I'm the reason he homeless and asking me for a favor. He's staring at me, his eyes follow me with no laser. He's staring at me, I noticed that his stare is contagious. Cause now I'm staring back at him, feeling some type of disrespect. If I could throw a bat at him, he'd be aiming at his neck. I never understood someone begging for goods, asking for handouts, taking it if they could. A humble man is all that we ever need. Tell me how much a dollar cost. Tripping and feeling resentment. I never met a transient that demanded attention. It got me frustrated, indecisive, and power tripping. Sour emotions got me looking at the universe different. I should distance myself, I should keep it relentless. My selfishness is what got me here, who the fuck I'm kidding? Got better judgment, I know when niggas hustling. Keep in mind, when I was struggling, I did compromise. Now I comprehend, I smell grandpa's soul medicine reeking from your skin. Moonshine and gin, nigga you're babbling, your words ain't flattering. I'm imagining Denzel, but looking at old Neil. Cause I'm in sad thrills, your gimmick is mediocre. I looked at him and said, every nickel is mine to keep. He looked at me and said, know the truth, it'll set you free. You looking at the Messiah, the son of Jehovah, the higher power, the choir that spoke the word, the Holy Spirit, the nerve of Nazareth. And I tell you just how much a dollar cost. The price of having a spot in heaven. Embrace your loss, I am God.
I washed my hands, I said my grace. What more do you want from me? Shades of gray will never change if I condone. Turn this page, help me change to right my wrong.
No, it's an interesting song. I was wondering that if the homeless person was going to
represent something,
something, and representing God was
quite a pull.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going back to to the Bible and Jesus walking around, and
especially since he mentions it, like the stranger mentions Exodus 14.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so that's interesting throwback of just. That he just, as most of us do, like, I don't want to give money to this person, and I think, they're just they're gonna use it for alcohol or drugs or whatever, and they don't need it, and all that kind of stuff. And
or thinking like him, like you don't need handouts.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting that he just wants to distance himself, and I'm not giving anything. It's and also it's like. Hey, every nickel is mine,
every nickel is mine.
I don't need to give you anything. But, then looking at, the bigger story, the bigger picture, that, well, what if this person really was starving and need of money, need of something, and even said at one point, like, I kicked that stuff a long time ago. Like, I don't.
Yeah, he started the song with it saying that, yeah.
Yeah, so, interesting then. Like it's just, I mean, this is a story that's been around for a while. Like a kind of a, if like God were to show up, would you really kind of recognize and and understand, and you would be kind of taught a lesson, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a similar. I mean, there's a lot of similar stories about sort of, I forget the word, like greed, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That same Beauty and the Beast is the exact same story.
I would
You
say,
don't recognize it.
right a different way. Yeah, exactly.
So,
the same kind of a thing.
yeah,
So, yeah,
same
like,
thing.
he's like, you know, I don't need to give you anything. Everything I got is mine. I earned this stuff. Like, you know, this is just another bum.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to look, you know, be that way, you know. And,
Exactly.
But, because you don't really know. And there are a lot of fakers out there, too. That
There are,
or they're just, I used to live, like, you know, had a condo, and guy in my building was like,
I remember you told me.
he
Yeah.
was out like hustling, you know. That was
crazy,
his job.
man.
He'd be out hustling. Oh, geez, sorry. So I've seen people who just hustle, like they don't need it.
No, for sure. Yeah.
So I get, you know, I understand that aspect of it, but it is tough though, you know, because there are people who do really need stuff, and especially
Exactly.
you're in his case where you're driving your Mercedes Benz or
You got a
whatever,
lot
you
of
got
money,
the
man.
money, and it's fairly obvious, and you're like, nah, I ain't. How my
Yeah.
nickels are
It's
mine.
just $1.
Yeah, what's $1? What does that really mean? What is it?
Exactly. How much
What does
it
it
costs.
cost you?
So yeah, I love that ending part. It costs you your spot in heaven because you're just not.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That's a great line. And then because then Tears of a Clown and all that. So
Yeah. I thought that ending was very powerful.
that was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
So moving on to Complexion, a Zulu love. Here we go.
I'm with this.
Complexion.
Two steps.
Complexion don't mean a thing.
This is solo live.
Ooh, complexion.
Two steps.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Give a fuck about your complexion, I know what the Germans done. Sneak me through the back window, I'm a good field nigga. I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if massa listening. Complexion.
Two steps.
It all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Brown skinned, but your blue eyes tell me your mama can't run. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if massa listening. I got the world attention, so I'ma say something that's vital and critical for survival of mankind. The feline color should never rival. Beauty is what you make it. I used to be so mistaken by different shades and faces. Then Wit told me a woman is woman, love the creation. It all came from God, then you was my confirmation. I came to where you reside. Complexion don't mean a thing.
It's a solo live.
Ooh, complexion.
Two steps.
It all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
You like it? I love it. You like it? I love it. You like it? I love it.
What a homegirl Rhapsody at? I need you to speak your mind real quick, loved one.
Let me talk my Stu Scott. That's the real blues, baby, like you met Jay's, baby. You blew me away. You think more beauty in blue, green, and gray. On my Solomon up north, 12 years a slave, 12 years of age, thinking my shade too dark. I love myself, I no longer need Cupid. Enforcing my dark side like a young George Lucas. Light don't mean you smart, being dark don't make you stupid. If you don't see you're beautiful in your complexion, it ain't complex. To put it in context, find the air beneath the kite, that's a context. Yeah, baby, I'm conscious. Ain't no contest. If you like it, I love it. All your earth tones been blessed. Ain't no stress, jigaboos wanna be. I ain't talking J, I ain't talking B. I'm talking days we got school, watching movie screens. And spike your self-esteem, the new James Bond gon' be black as me. All your brothers magnificent, call all the sisters queens. We all on the same team, blues and pyrus, no colors ain't a thing.
Barefoot babies with no care. I don't see Compton, I see something much worse. The land of the landmines, the hell that's on earth.
Wow.
Interesting song.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, and now it's written. I mean,
Yeah,
complexion. So obviously, the complexion of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly about that. I'm not familiar with the term Zulu love.
Yeah, I know it's like, I think it's an African thing, but I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I've heard something about Zulu, but I don't know. I'm not
Exactly,
going to try to comment on
Y'all
that.
tell us about that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just that, all those, your feelings and all that. So especially her part even talks about how, complex things are. Who was the Rhapsody?
Rhapsody. Yeah, she does really good.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she was in it until she came on. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I forgot to mention she was in there.
That's fine. It doesn't much matter. And then I was wondering, because there were references to Jay earlier. I was like, is that Jay-Z? And then now, clearly it is, because it's also
J and
J
B.
and Bay or B or
B.
Bay?
I think he says B or she says B, because like Queen Bee, I think.
Yeah, Queen. Oh yeah. Anyway,
but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then wait, goes right. There was
Oh, sorry, I was finding the J and B.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which one did you want?
Well, no, just about the that, like, if you don't see you're beautiful in your complexion, it ain't complex to put it in context. That was really nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah, right. Find the air beneath the kite. That's the context. Yeah, I just thought that was really nice. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, God, man, she killed it. That she was killing it there.
Yeah, great.
Paradox for the paradots urge they tutor. I was like,
right?
Jesus Christ.
Everything was really, really good, but I just thought that
was a good line.
It kind of tied for me the whole kind of song together, like
Yeah.
the complexion, and then the complexity of it. It ain't complex to put it in context.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a great. Another one that stood out to me, I don't think it would have stood out to you as much, but it was one of her first lines. She says, "Oh yeah, excuse me on my Tupac, keep your head up. When did you stop?" Because his song, here's a really big popular song that you don't know, but it's called "Keep Your Head Up."
Tupac.
Yeah, he has a song called "Keep Your Head Up."
Yeah, all I really know of Tupac are the ones I hear on the radio.
California Love.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Of course,
California Love. Yeah.
So that song was actually more towards just sort of women in general, about like keeping your head up and being like, I know that a lot of the men mistreat you, especially in the hood, and just being like, keep your head up. She used it here more for saying like, excuse me on my Tupac, keep your head up. When did you stop? So everybody saying like basically telling everybody like, when did you stop listening to Tupac in that sense? So like you got to keep your head up, stop letting it droop,
Oh, okay.
So I like that callback to
I definitely did not get that reference. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I thought her lines were really good. I mean, his were too, obviously.
Yeah, he did good too. It's just we're like more, aware of like, yeah, I know Kendrick's good.
Right.
So then somebody else who's good is like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and exactly. And like I said, her lines for me kind of tied it all together. Where I was like, oh, I think I get it more,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But yeah, cool song.
Yeah.
I like the beat of it too. Sort of catchy.
Yeah, nice stuff.
Now we're on The Blacker the Berry.
Okay.
You know that expression, right? Like the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yes, I have heard that. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Down to our knees, hands to the ground. We don't believe.
6 in the morning, fire in the street. Burn, baby, burn. That's all I want to see. And sometimes I get off watching you die in vain. It's such a shame. They may call me crazy. They may say I suffer from schizophrenia or something, but oh, you made me.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. Been feeling this way since I was 16. Came to my senses. You never liked this anyway. Fuck your friendship, I meant it. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a small village, part of my residence. Came from the bottom of mankind. My hair is nappy, my dick is big, my nose is round and wide. And this is more than confession. I mean, I might press the button just so you know my discretion. I'm caught in my feelings. I know that you feel it. Sabotage my community, making a killing. You made me a killer, emancipation of a real nigga.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The bigger shoot.
I said them treat me like a slave, cause we black. Boy, we feel one heap of pain, cause we black. I man, I said them put me in a chain, cause we black. I'm at you now, me gold chain full of rocks. And you don't see the whip, left scar from we back. But now we have a big whip back from the black. Oh, them a say we doom from the start, cause we black. But remember this, every race start from the black. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. Institutionalized, manipulation and lies. Reciprocation of freedom only live in your eyes. You hate me, don't you? I know you hate me just as much as you hate yourself. Jealous of my wisdom and cards I dealt. Watching me as I pull up, fill up my tank, then pill out. Muscle cars like pull-ups, show you what these big wheels bout. Black and successful, this black man meant to be special. Emancipation of a real nigga.
The sweeter the juice, the blacker the berry. The sweeter the juice, the blacker the berry. The sweeter the juice, the blacker the berry. The big ass shoes.
I saw them treat me like a slave, cause we black. Oh, if you feel one heap of pain, cause we black. I man, I said them put me in a chain, cause we black. I'm a now. Oh, them a say we doom from the start.
Unfortunately, I don't know who he is.
Remember this, every race start from the black. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. When I finish this, if you listen, then sure you will agree. This plot is bigger than me. It's generational hatred. It's cynicism. It's grimy, little justification. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the heart of a fucking Aryan. You hate my people. I can tell cause it's threats when I see you. I can tell cause your waist is equal. No, I can tell because you in love with that desert eagle. Thinking maliciously. He get a chain, then you gon' bleed him. It's funny how Zulu and Dosa might go to war. Two tribal armies that wanna build and destroy. Remind me of these Compton Crip gangs that live next door. Beefing with Pyrus, only death settle the score. Or eat watermelon chicken and Kool-Aid on weekdays. Or jump high enough to get Michael Jordan endorsements. Or watch BET cause urban support is important. So why did I weep when Trayvon Martin was in the street? When gang banging make me kill a nigga blacker than me. Hypocrite.
Nice little outro on that.
Yeah, it's like it gives you room to think about like what he just said.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Like the "Why did I weep when Trayvon Martin was in the street?" I mean, yeah, that was powerful for everybody here. But
yeah,
certainly more if you're black. I mean,
exactly.
Obviously, you know, that was such a horrible thing. Yeah, when gangbang and make me kill a blacker than me. I mean, yeah, it's really. I mean, I get the slave references and stuff, obviously, that it's talking about. And the prior song, too, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't even get that much into that. But I can't say that I got everything, because I think also it's, I mean, part of it is actually probably about, you know, the man, you know, white people keeping him down, and you know, to some degree. So, I mean, to some degree, we're not going to get all
every single reference,
yeah, because it's not our world, not our culture, and but I mean, there's some powerful stuff in there, and I kind of like to learn more about it, but I'm not totally getting everything, at least on a first listen. Fair enough. But I know it's powerful, and some parts I got, but I think it's more powerful than I realized, to be honest.
Fair, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what. I mean, if you know more about it, you've heard it a bit, and I've read what people said or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite songs on the album, honestly. Mostly because I think him, Kanye's got a few songs like this too, but this one I think is really good. It's like such a great example of how, I don't even know how to explain it. There's some, it's like he throughout the verses, throughout the first verses, until he gets to the end, he's making a lot of points about oppression and about like the oppressors and bringing up his people, which is great. Like, that's a great thing. And he's making completely valid points. And then you get to the end and he's just sort of turning it on his own people, like on himself, being like, we could do better too, you know, being like, well, this is not just other people bringing us down. Because
I definitely got, like, you know, like the white man keeping him down, the whole slave aspect. Certainly got that at the beginning. That makes a lot of sense, because at the very end where he talks about gangbang and, you know, make me kill someone
blacker than me,
like complexion, just like so like not just white and black, just different, you know, different shades, someone darker or whatever. So that makes sense.
Exactly. That's why
for the local
Remind me of these Compton Crip gangs that live next door, beefing, only death settle the score. So yeah, that's why I do really like the song because of that.
Interesting.
Because,
Okay, I see that now.
yeah, because he's making completely valid points the whole time. It's not like, I love the way he does it, because even though he turns it, like flips it, and that, I love the flip. I think that's really important too, because I think for any culture, you know, you should also look at yourselves and do better as well, instead of just saying they're the reason we're not doing well. I don't think that's a great mindset. So I love the way he flipped that. But I love he did it in a way that like it doesn't diminish anything he said. Like the first verses are still valid.
Oh yeah, everything's
which
still
is why
completely
it's like
valid.
such a great. I think it's a really cool song the way he wrote it. But so yeah, that's why I love it, just because the Black of the Berry, and it's like he's making great points, and he still flips it on himself. So he'd be like, as much as right as he is, there's stuff that can be done on their part too.
Yeah. Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, very powerful. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Wow.
Yeah, that one's it reminds me of Good Kid, Mad City, how he was sort of critiquing where he grew up.
Yeah. No, very good stuff. Wow.
So next we go to You Ain't Gotta Lie / Momma Said.
Okay.
Steady long, steady wrong, nigga. Hey, y'all close that front door. Y'all let flies in this motherfucker. Close that door. My OG up in this motherfucker right now. My pops there with the bottle in his hands. Acting a fool. Hey, baby, check it out. I'ma tell you what my mama had said. She like,
I can spot you a mile away. I can see your insecurities written all on your face. So predictable your words. I know what you're gonna say. Who you fooling or you assuming you could just come and hang with the homies, but your level of realness ain't the same. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. Ask where the plug at to impress me. Ask where the jug at to impress me. Ask where it's at only upsets me. You sound like the feds on me. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. And the world don't respect you, and the culture don't accept you, but you think it's all love. And the girls gon' neglect you once your parody is done. Reputation can't protect you if you never had one. Jealousy, complex, emotional, complex, self-pity, complex, under oath, complex.
the loudest one in the room, nigga, that's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. What do you got to offer? Tell me before we off here. Put you deep in that coffin. Been allergic to talking. Been aversion to bullshit and sell a dream in the auction. Tell me just who your boss is. Niggas be fugazi. Bitches be fugazi. This is for fugazi. Niggas and bitches who make habitual line babies. Bless them little hearts. You can never persuade me. You can never relate me to him, to her, or that, or them. See, loud rich niggas got low money. And loud broke niggas got no money. The irony behind it is so funny. And I seen it all this past year. Pass on some advice we feel. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard.
Dang, yeah, that sounds like far away. That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
I gotta go back to lyrics, but interesting. It's gonna go into I. That's why I know that much. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
that's a cool song.
Yeah, it was. That was.
Catchy too.
It was. And there was one part right before the chorus, I thought it was interesting. That the loudest one in the room.
Man,
The loudest one in the room. That's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context. You ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to lie. You ain't got to, I thought that was, I really liked that one. That really stood out for me. I think he's probably talking to himself as well as other people.
Agreed. Yeah, because it says Momma Said. So
yeah, because Momma Said, right, yeah. So
yeah, applies to multiple people.
Because, he's the one on, with the loudspeaker, so to speak.
Yeah.
So they have the loudest one in the room. Like you be saying, oh, you're the preacher. You're telling it like it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're always the loudest one in the room, that's a complex.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
So that's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to lie. You got to you got to kick it. And you got to do this. So I thought that was really, really interesting.
Agreed.
That was my favorite line. My part of the whole
Yeah,
song.
that's a great one, and it works really well, especially because now by this point in the album, like we've heard him do that a lot now.
Yeah.
Like there was that one song where he's like, I know everything, and he keeps saying it and keeps saying, I know everything, I know this, and then at the end of that verse, he's like, but I came home and realized I didn't know shit. So he did that where he's talking so loud, found out he didn't know anything, and then with the how much a dollar costs, he's like, nah, you don't need that. I've given every cent I have, and then found out, again he was wrong. So like in multiple songs throughout the album, he's the loudest one, and he realizes I was wrong.
Yeah,
so
he does it a lot where he he's very introspective
and very
passionate. All his stuff, yeah, exactly. And so I thought that one, and even the leading up part to it, like the jealousy complex, emotional complex, self-pity complex.
Agreed. Yeah.
And then loudest in the room, that's a complex. I thought that was a really nice play on words. That part I loved. It stood out for me a lot.
And pretty relatable too. I feel like everybody has experiences. You're at maybe a party or something, and like this person's just trying too hard. It's like, just chill. Like just be real. You ain't gotta act like you're so cool with drugs or alcohol or anything. But
we've all definitely known people that for whatever reason,
they gotta impress.
Right, and they're like, just chill.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, it was a cool song.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We're moving on to I'm gonna go to the end. I don't entirely know if it's like a full transition, but
in the last song, okay, for the transition, okay, gotcha.
I's really fun. I like it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it did transition. Cool.
Hey, turn the mic up. Come on. Is the mic on or not? I want the mic. He came back just to give you some games. All over the morning. Come on in.
1, 2, 1, 2. What's happening, fool?
Come on out.
I done been through a whole lot. Tried tribulation, but I know God. The devil wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry. Yeah. As I look around me, in front of a dirty double mirror, they found me. And I love myself. I want you looking at me. Tell me, what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I love myself. Illuminated by the hand of God. Boy, don't seem shy. I love myself. One day at a time. They wanna say it's a war outside, bomb in the street, gun in the hood, mob of police. Yeah, I duck these cold faces, post up feet, fight for basis. Dreams are reality's piece. Blow steam in the face of the beast. Sky can fall down, we can cry down. Look at me, motherfucker, I smile. I love myself. And when you're looking at me, tell me, what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I love myself. Illuminated. All y'all come to the front. Y'all come up to the front. Baby girl, you, come on. You know the miserable do love company. What do you want from me and my skies? Everybody lack confident. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this nigga, I love myself. And when you're looking at me, tell me, what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I went to war last night. I've been dealing with depression ever since an adolescent. I can never hear the blessing, I can never see the message, I can never take the lead, I can never bubble weed from a negative and letting them annihilate me. And it's 7 and I'm moving at a million speed, finna run into a building, let my body. Not while I'm up here. Not on my time. Kill the music. Not on my time. 2015 niggas tired of playing victim, dog. Niggas ain't trying to play Vic Tutu. How many niggas we done lost? How many? Yeah, how many we lost? No, for real, answer the question. How many niggas we done lost, bro? This year alone.
Exactly, so we ain't got time to waste time, my nigga. On the dead homies, Charlie P, you know that, bro. You know that. Right, it's Mando. Right, it's Mando. Now, I say this because I love you niggas, man. I love all my niggas, bro. Exactly, enough said. All my niggas, listen to this. I promised Dave I never used the phrase fuck nigga. He said, think about what you saying. Fuck niggas. No better than Samuel on the Django. No better than a white man with slave boats. Sound like I needed some soul searching. My pops gave me some game in real person. So many artists gave her an explanation to hold us. Well, this is my explanation, straight from Ethiopia. Negus. Definition, royalty. King royalty. Wait, listen. Negus. Description, black emperor, king ruler. Now let me finish. The history books overlooked the word and hide it. Negus. Say it with me. Or say no more. Black stars can come and get me. Take it from Oprah Winfrey. Tell her she right on time. Kendrick Lamar, by far, realest sneakers alive.
Wow.
A really cool song, honestly.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, the beat and everything.
Really
That
fun.
was like probably the most fun one on the album, I thought. That was fun.
And the
It was just
guitar,
like,
and that's really cool.
So
song.
nice. Wow, there's so many different things in there. I mean, the ending.
Ending is cool, too.
Very cool. I mean, I didn't know that little history lesson.
Nobody would have known that.
I had never heard that before.
No,
It's really interesting.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I would have never. Makes sense. Ethiopia totally makes sense. Because they were one of the only countries, I believe, that never got colonized. As far as I'm aware, like one of two in Africa. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly from history, they were like one of two that never got colonized.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, and that's where the term comes from, and all that. That was really interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah.
So that's really flipping the script on that.
Largely.
Yeah. I mean, to a large degree there.
I mean, it sort of came full circle in a sense, but yeah, when it was first used,
and how that does happen historically, and various words and things like that when you get the etymology of something. And then before all that, where it was just kind of fun, but it's also like, there's like a house party thing going on, or a street party or whatever, and they're introducing him, and like, he's performing and all that. That was just kind of fun, but it also kind of followed the earlier stuff too, because it's I thought it was interesting where he was saying that hang on, we just go back up here. We go back at the beginning. Where it keeps saying, I love myself.
Yeah, I love myself.
That was because, because he kept saying, when you're looking at me, tell me, what do you see? And then it's, I love myself, in parentheses. So it had double meanings though, because like the crowd or kind of saying, I love myself, like it's getting into that, as you should. Like getting away from all the negativity and trying to parts, and to raise up, like your local community. He's pushing that. I love myself. It keeps coming back, but at the same time, going with the prior songs and his own, kind of putting himself down or whatever.
Yeah, he's got through it
because he's saying, when you're looking at me, tell me, what do you see? I love myself. So because somebody else is saying it, so like they're saying, oh, what do you see? I see you love yourself. Because it can be taken both ways. Like a positive way, but it could also be like, you're in love with yourself, dude. Like,
True.
Tell me, when you look at me, tell me, what do you see? Yeah. I love myself. That's what I see. Yeah.
That's true. I never quite saw it that way, but that actually does work, especially because saying we're bringing out, nobody but the number one rapper in the world, traveled a lot.
Exactly.
It's this crazy intro.
Right, this intro,
True.
building himself up, and then going with what he said before, where he kind of was feeling like a hypocrite and things like that, and he clearly, and the whole thing with the, the how much is $1 worth and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He was feeling, so I thought that, because I kept repeating that throughout it, like, when you look at me, tell me, what do you see? I love myself. So, but a double meaning on I love myself. There's the good and the bad.
Exactly.
If I'm assuming that's what he meant by it, maybe I'm wrong.
I do know.
Either way, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. On one tidbit of it, I do know, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw that in an interview he said the reason, like, he made the chorus "I love myself" and like you just repeat it. He said the reason for that was like he wanted it to be the chorus so that people who sing the song when they sing along, and it's like a catchy song. It's the most catchy on the album.
Mm-hmm.
They keep saying it because that's like psychology.
Yeah,
you keep saying
yeah.
I love myself.
I
you
can
end
see
up
that.
loving
Sure.
yourself.
Yeah.
So he purposely made the chorus I love myself, so people would end up.
That's
like
good.
that.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that because I mean, to some degree, like I said, like if the person singing it was kind of like the community or whatever, you know, and he wanted them to not fight and to love,
Agreed.
to love themselves. So yeah, that makes sense totally, and you know, so that just that one line kind of works on different levels, and very, very clever.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a cool song with that, and it's similar to All Right with the way that he's like, you know, there's a war outside, bomb on the street. Like he mentions a lot of stuff, and then like basically things are gonna be all right, and I love myself, and we're gonna get through it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just that, but you know, because there's so many lyrics and things. But but the overall, I think we got that, and it was very,
and then really cool again.
Just the vibe, you know, and then the music, and it was fun.
It was a really like it feels like you're there at the concert. Like it feels
they
like
did a great
concert.
job with that. Like just like you know, here's the local town hero kind of thing, and a block party just getting up and doing his thing, and then things start to go bad because a fight breaks out or whatever, and then he kind of pulls it back together.
Yeah.
And then gives that kind of the lesson of where the term comes from and all that. So,
exactly. It's really cool. I don't know if
Cool
he
song.
like literally experienced that and was like, oh, that's got the idea to make that into a song, or if he just had the idea from get go. But yeah, it's interesting that he was like, yeah, let me do it as a concert, and then it's gonna get interrupted, and then you gotta remind them like, no, we don't need that. And it's a very interesting concept.
Yeah. Either way, whatever. Yeah, very cool song.
Really
I like
cool.
that one a lot.
Yeah, and that one is the album version. There's a single version because it gets cut off. So the single version just keeps going with there's no like explanation and all that. It's just the fun part basically.
Oh, okay. I also thought it was interesting just that the title of his I, but it's a small I. It's not capital.
Just like you, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
But especially when he's talking about, in other words, like because it talking about before, like he gets a big head and stuff, and he's kind of a hypocrite. Like a lot of that shit doesn't matter. So he's kind of making himself smaller, like it's not capital I.
Agreed.
So, really
shows
cool.
a lot of growth in the album. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as it goes on, that's great stuff.
And now we're on the last song.
Okay.
12 minutes.
Oh, is it?
12 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's great though. It's great. The song is good, and then there's another part, but we'll get to it. Here we go.
Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon. You consume every message. When shit hit the fan, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon. You consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right? Make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily? Is your heart where it need to be? Is your smile on permanent? Is your foul on lifetime? What you know where the sermon is? If I died in this next line, question my character and degrade me on every block. Want you to love me like Nelson. Want you to hug me like Nelson. I freed you from being a slave in your mind. You're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song. It's surely a blessing. But a prophet ain't a prophet till he asks you this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right? Make sure you ask your friends. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that, do you believe in me? How much you believe in her? You think she gon' stick around if them 25 years occur? You think he gon' hold you down when you down beyond bars hurt? You think y'all on common ground if you promise to be the first? Can you be immortalized without your life being expired? How tough is your skin when they turn you in? Do you show forgiveness? What brush do you bend when dust in your shoulders from being offended? What kind of den did they put you in when the lions start hissing? What kind of bridge did they burn revenge on your mind when it's mentioned? You wanna love like Nelson, you wanna be like
diagnosis. You wanna walk in his shoes, but your peacemaking seldom. You wanna be remembered and deliver the message that considered the blessing of everyone. This your lesson for everyone. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The voice of Mandela, hope this flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you riding with me, nigga, I've been wrote off before. I got abandonment issues. I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't let me resent you. Is this relationship a fake or real as the heavens be? See, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass. How the wind blow, Murphy's Law, Generation X. Will I ever be your ex? Flaws of a baby step, marred by the mouth a bit. Pause, put me under stress. Crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. Is it Jackie? Is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean, you say he touched those kids? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hold my flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. A war that was based on apartheid and discrimination made me want to go back to the city and tell the homies what I learned. The word was respect. Just because you wore a different gang color than mine's doesn't mean I can't respect you as a black man. We unify and stop the enemy from killing us. But I don't know. I'm no mortal man. Maybe I'm just another nigga. Shit, and that's all I wrote. I was gonna call it another nigga, but it ain't really a poem. I just felt like it's something you probably could relate to. You spoke on the ground. What you mean by that? What the ground represent?
The ground is gonna open up and swallow the evil.
Right.
That's how I see it. My word is born.
You reckon it's the voice?
And the ground is the symbol for the poor people.
Right.
The poor people is gonna open up
Voice
the
is
whole
Tupac.
world and swallow up the rich people. Because the rich people gonna be so fat and they're gonna be so appetizing. You know what I'm saying? There might be some cannibalism out this month. They might eat the rich. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me ask you this then. Do you see yourself as somebody that's rich or somebody that made the best of their own opportunities?
I see myself as a natural born hustler, a true hustler in every sense of the word. I went from having somebody manage me to me hiring the person that works my management company. Right. I changed everything. I realized my destiny in a matter of 5 years, you know what I'm saying, and made myself a millionaire.
Right.
I made millions for a lot of people. Now it's time to make millions for myself, you know what I'm saying?
And through your different avenues of success, how would you say you managed to keep a level of sanity?
By my faith in God, by my faith in the game, and by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing shit.
Would you consider yourself a fighter at heart or somebody that only reacts when they back is against the wall?
Shit, I like to think that at every opportunity I've ever been threatened with resistance, it's been met with resistance.
How long you think it take before niggas be like, we fighting a war, I'm fighting a war I can't win, and I want to lay it all down?
In this country, a black man only have like 5 years we can exhibit maximum strength. And that's right now, while you a teenager, while you still strong, while you still want to lift weights, while you still want to shoot back. And if you don't believe me, you can look around. You don't see no loudmouth 30-year-old motherfuckers.
That's crazy, because me being one of your offsprings of the legacy you left behind, I can truly tell you that it's nothing but turmoil going on. So I wanted to ask you, what you think is the future for me and my generation today?
I don't think America know that. I think America think we was just playing. It's gonna be some more playing, but it ain't gonna be no playing. It's gonna be murder. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like Nat Turner, 1831, up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen.
That's crazy, man. In my opinion, the only hope that we kind of have left is music and vibrations. A lot of people don't understand how important it is. You know, trip me out sometimes.
Because it's spirits. We ain't even really rapping. We just letting our dead homies tell stories for us.
Yeah. I wanted to read one last thing to you. It's actually something a good friend had wrote, describing my world. The caterpillar is a prisoner to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it in order to protect itself from this mad city. While consuming this environment, the caterpillar begins to notice ways to survive. One thing it notices is how much the world shuns him, but praises the butterfly. But having a harsh outlook on life, the caterpillar sees the butterfly as weak and figures out a way to pimp it to his own benefits. Already surrounded by this mad city, the caterpillar goes to work on the cocoon, which institutionalizes him. He can no longer see past his own thoughts. He's trapped. While trapped inside these walls, certain ideas take root, such as going home and bringing back new concepts to this mad city. Finally freed, the butterfly sheds light on situations that the caterpillar never considered, ending the internal struggle. Although the butterfly and caterpillar are completely different, they are one and the same. What's your perspective on that? Pop. Pop.
Wow.
I know, right?
Wow, it's a lot of deep stuff
Really
in there.
impressive, yeah.
Especially that ending.
The entire Pac interview with that poem. He had a poem before and then went into Pac, then had another poem.
Yeah. Oof.
Really impressive. And the song itself is quite good, too.
Yeah. Oof. There's a lot. Yeah, because, I mean, last half of the thing was the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And,
which I guess I'll start with it just, the album's called To Pimp a Butterfly. So now we
yes,
know
exactly.
why.
So, yeah, I was wondering, I mean, I got elements of it, but at the end, that really pulls it all together, and that it's an interesting take on it. And that the caterpillar and the butterfly are one and the same, which they are.
Exactly.
And they just
pimp
one
it to its
becomes
benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really cool concept.
Yeah, it really is. That's really strong. Now, as far as the, I mean, obviously he didn't interview Pac
because he died way too
Yeah,
early.
exactly.
Yeah.
Was that like AI using his voice, or was it? Do you know if it was like somebody else had done an interview with Pac in the past and he used?
Yeah, it was an older interview, and Kendrick just found a way to sort of cut up and
that makes sense.
Added to it so that it sounds very natural. Like it
really does.
Really
yeah,
does. Yeah. So yeah, he just made it sound sort of perfect, and he used it for this album because he thought. And Tupac's a massive inspiration for him, and it pops up a lot. Even popped up in the Drake beef too. But like this is called To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
And he originally thought about calling it To Pimp a Caterpillar, which would be TPAC. Tupac would be the name of the album.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So it was a lot, big inspiration for him throughout a lot of his stuff.
I think To Pimp a Butterfly is a better
name,
especially in the sense of because it's
makes a little bit
because
more
the butterfly
sense.
is always it's something beautiful,
mm-hmm.
and it's kind of a fragile thing, in general when you see it flying
and it's something
around,
you have to evolve into,
right? And so pimping something like that, so beautiful is that's like a strong statement, strong thought. So and then all the the parts about Nelson Mandela and and coming back and and that he apparently, if it's true, I mean he actually went there and
went to Robben Island. I think he did. Yeah,
to the jail where he had been held and all that. Like that's pretty wild. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah, that song is quite good. I mean, Mortal Man too. That whole thing of it being. Are you actually going to support people, or is as soon as, which is very common, especially these days with media and everything. Mm-hmm. You hear one bad thing and it's like, well, that person sucks.
Yeah, I mean the whole whatever cancel culture, what have you, however you want to describe it. But people do, turn on people, and particularly the stars and stuff. Like the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's the whole thing. And it seems like once society builds up somebody, like, you know, somebody's a superstar, then the next thing is they want to tear that person down, like the same people that built the person up. So I did think that was really interesting that he keeps coming back to, you know, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Because, yeah, quite often most people are not. And it's not even just fans of celebrities, but I mean just family and friends, you know, like if shit hits the fan, are you going to be there? Are you a fan? Are you really into that person? Are you going to be there for them?
You're going to still keep believing in what they've taught you? Because he goes all the way from Moses to JFK and then to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, and Jackie and Jesse and Michael Jackson. Yeah, really. Wow. I mean, that was so much stuff there. So
I know,
so,
and it's all
so
really
deep.
good. And then because the song has a lot of like really deep lyrics too. There was part. Let me see. I think it was the second verse. Oh yeah. This part it was just like every line was like something you could have talked about in itself. You know, it's when he's questioning everything. Do you believe in me? How much you believe in her? You think she's gonna stick around 25 years? You think he can hold you down? Y'all on common ground, and then going on who got your best interests? Are you dependent? Who pretending? How tough is your skin? Do you show forgiveness? It just keeps going, like every single line. What kind of bridge did they burn?
Mm-hmm.
So many lines that in itself are very deep, like every single one.
Yeah, there was just so much to unpack.
There was a lot.
Just that. I thought the part about like X was also just interesting. Just I don't know where it was, but see, I got it. Well, yeah, I mean, Murphy's Law, Generation X. Will I ever be your ex? That part just kind of stood out for me because, you know, Malcolm X was a famous, leader of the Black Panthers, you know, and you know, still talked about it as a great leader, and so I thought that was just interesting. You know, he said, "Will I ever be your ex?" Like, will I ever be like, you know, Malcolm X? Will I ever be a great leader? I thought that was a simple little throwaway line in some respects, but I thought it was also kind of was a deep thing for him to say because he is trying to pull together his community.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
and say like, let's stop fighting each other, you know, with the gangs and stuff. And so I thought that was pretty powerful, just saying, "Will I ever be your ex?"
Agreed, because he says, where was that part? He says, comparing himself to Mandela again, and he was like, "I freed you from your mindset of being a slave in your mind." So comparing himself to Mandela in that way, which is very true. But that part where he ends it, talking about respecting each other so that you can end all the violence and all that. We can unify, stop the enemy from killing us. And then saying also at the same time, but I don't know, I'm no mortal man. Like, I'm just another guy. And that's why it's called Mortal Man.
I thought it was interesting just though that, I mean, he said, I'm no mortal man. Instead of I am a mortal man. Because that I'm no mortal man makes it sound like you're not the average guy. Like, you know, you're not.
In a way, yeah.
You know, like you're something bigger. But the way he says it, but I don't know. Like, you think it'd be, I don't know. I'm just a mortal man. But it's like, I'm no mortal man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just another.
It's like he doesn't know what he is almost.
Right, yeah. Because he is, I mean, not your average guy. Because
no,
he's a superstar. So it is, you know, correct in one sense, and yet he is a mortal man, you know, like we all are. So interesting play on words there, you know. There's so many clever lines that he's just such a brilliant lyricist, and
he's a really good lyricist.
He's so clever with his poetry. His lyrics are just amazing.
And this wasn't even the album that won the Pulitzer Prize.
I know, because we were talking about on the first one, we thought it was this one.
Yeah, I mixed it up.
Turns out it was Damn.
Damn, yeah, which
I hadn't heard that much about, because I mean I'd heard, you know, much about this album
in terms of the names. Yeah,
did that and even the Good Kid, Mad City, but it seemed like, and of course recently the GNX one, but for years, I mean, the one that kind of broke through the public consciousness of, you know, that isn't all that much into rap, like, you know, like I had been, was this. To Pimp a Butterfly. Like everybody had heard that, knew it. So I just kind of
I
assumed.
I think it was more like.
And it is so, kind of brilliant and clever and poetic that I just kind of assumed this must have been the one. But no, damn, which I don't know much about.
It's quite impressive. Yeah, it's a whole other ballgame. They're all great. I think this one could have won 1-2, honestly, just with how great it was and the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do Damn next, obviously, because that's the next album, and that is very much deserving of it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay.
But yeah, and then that whole interview with Tupac, really cool the way he cut it up and it fit perfectly.
Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't love the part about the when this, like, if there's a riot again, basically, if something happens again,
there's gonna be murder.
There's gonna be murder,
Yeah.
which in one sense I can kind of see, because before, like here in Los Angeles many years back, there was the Watts riots, and then there was the LA riots, which I lived through, and oof, that was horrific. But yeah, that was all looting and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously not by just black people, everybody was looting. It was crazy. But I hope Pac is wrong about that, but I understand what he's saying though about.
Yeah, I think he's more saying it to for the mindset. He's
yeah,
not,
exactly.
literally
Like something's got to happen. You got to
exactly.
change needs to happen. So I get what he's saying, and that that makes total sense. Like
and it is interesting that when they said this was before the BLM riots of 2020.
Oh, okay. Because this really was 2015, because he did, or remember 2016. Because he talks about 2015 a lot.
The album came out 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was partially right.
Wow. Interesting, yeah. Well, just a fascinating album, and wow, just such an amazing lyricist / poet, Our
lights went out. That's interesting. That's how long it took. But it's a really impressive album. I mean, I love pretty much all the albums. So Good Kid, Mad City, I think is easier to listen to. This one is a lot more jazzy. It's deeper on some of the songs, and then it's more expanded almost. Like Good Kid, Mad City was like critiquing his own city and how in the hood, and here was like still critiquing that, but bringing it to a bigger degree of critiquing the entirety of his culture while still lifting them up at the same time.
Yeah,
across like
culture
the entire nation.
And the country and the nation in general, and then also the introspective part about his own life and as a leader and everything else, and just really that was
a really impressive work of art, and then tying it to
really
Pimp a Butterfly was really cool.
Yeah, brilliant title. I mean, just that. So, yeah, brilliant album. That's just amazing.
Yeah, I love that one. Well, oh my God, we're at 2 hours 40 minutes. That's crazy.
That's a long time.
I know, it's a lot of time. Thank you guys for watching, especially if you're on like Patreon, which, oh my God, if you are, that's crazy. That's a long time you've been watching, which if you're not, we're working on Patreon, trying to get that up. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's probably still pretty long. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks so much. We really do appreciate it, and certainly if you feel so inclined to give us a like, and hopefully you subscribe if you like what you're seeing.
And check out our reaction to Good Kid, Mad City as well.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, definitely do that, and feel free to leave comments. Obviously, we always appreciate it when
extra info. Yeah,
feel free to educate us, because we obviously don't know everything.
Yeah,
and,
we can't know everything. It's too much.
And I think you can also interpret some of his stuff different ways, because he is a brilliant artist and writes in that way that can be interpreted different ways. But anyway, so we appreciate it all, and thanks so much for watching.
We'll see you guys later.
Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.